welcome, guys, to masterclass number 2 in finance. Actually, if you think about it, it's masterclass number 3 if you speak Portuguese, because yesterday we did a masterclass with Raul. Wave Raul for everybody down from Adelaide. How are you going? Awesome. So, guys, today we're going to be talking about how you can generate extra income, whether it is you tripling your business's income or having an extra source of income, or keeping a part or full-time job to make more money. So I'm going to be sharing some of my top tips. Please unmute yourself, leave your camera on. I want to see your beautiful smiles, and you can ask me as many questions as you want. I'll probably be talking for about 30 minutes, hopefully just 30 minutes, and then the rest I will hand it over to our guest speaker of the day, my dear friend Raul, entrepreneur, investor, advisor, consultant, that will be sharing some of his top tips on how you guys can better invest your money. Because money is not just about making money, it's about saving money and then investing your money. So he will be coming in as a surprise guest speaker. Thanks for joining. I called him this morning. I'm like, do you want to be my surprise guest speaker? And he said, yes. I'm like, yay. Cool. So 3, 2, 1. Let me get started so I can hand over to him. And then at the end, we'll stay back for probably another 10, 15 minutes to answer all of your questions. So today we're going to have 6 topics. So first is personal finance, my personal tips and tricks. Then we're going to be talking about the difference between personal finance and business finance. Then I'm going to share with you guys 10 very easy business ideas that you can operate and make extra income on a student visa or a part-time if you're working in the corporate world. Then I'm going to teach you guys how to set SMART goals, because we need to have goals that we work towards. And then I also want to talk to you guys about time versus money. Which one is more important, money or time and money? Because I see, unfortunately, a lot of students thinking that money is more important, but actually your time is more important. And then finally, we have the one and only, our guest speaker, closing off today, sharing his top tips on how you can best invest your money. And I can see some big smiles here, so I can see everybody's really excited. So thanks, guys. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's get started. Before we start talking about finance, just a little bit about Academy of Entrepreneurs. We created Academy of Entrepreneurs many years ago when we saw that students couldn't find jobs, companies couldn't find talent, and 96% of entrepreneurs were failing. And we're like, we need to fix this. So we interviewed over 1,000 successful entrepreneurs to understand what is it that makes someone successful, and how can we get those steps, strategies, tools, and network into a community that supports, so we can create a global impact by empowering each and every single one of you with the entrepreneurial skills to succeed. And that's how Academy of Entrepreneurs was born. It was born from a massive problem that we wanted to solve. Since then, we have won many awards. We actually won another award last week, which is so beautiful. So the world has opened many doors. So we've scaled into over 100 countries that we teach around the world every single day. And we are known as the world's first accredited incubator. We also have a beautiful partnership with Google, where every month we host events. So if you guys are free on Wednesday next week, we're running an exclusive workshop with Google, teaching you sales and negotiation skills inside your organization when you're dealing with big corporations such as Google, but also with government. So that's going to be a really cool masterclass. We also present every year with Nobel Peace Prize winner, Professor Mohammed Yunus, which is an honor because he is the godfather of impact and entrepreneurship. And we also work with the United Nations probably on a weekly basis. So this is some of the beautiful brands and organizations and leaders that are part of our network. And as I mentioned, we operate in over 100 countries every day. So please let us know what countries you plan on opening your business or expanding, because we have investors, entrepreneurs, mentors to help you succeed faster. So our mission is to give you guys 3 things: the entrepreneurial skills, because you need to have the skills no matter how good you are. So if you're the best soccer player, the best dentist, the best photographer in the world, you need to learn how you're going to turn that into a business. So we give you guys the skills, the network, because 78% of entrepreneurs succeed due to the network. So it's not just what you know, it's how can you turn that into a business, but it's who do you have around your environment that can open doors. And also, Academy of Entrepreneurs a few months ago launched an investment fund. So 100% of the profit that we make in every country stays in that country, and that goes towards the fund where we further invest into the students' business. We only invest in the students that graduate from Academy of Entrepreneurs, because we know that they are more successful than anybody else. And we also know they have 100% success rates. Obviously, we're going to put our money back into our community because we know that you guys will succeed faster. And at the end of the day, everything we do is about impact. So we work very close with the United Nations, and it's all about the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So it's not just creating a business, it's creating a business that will be sustainable and create an impact at a global level. So this is why we are here. And as a result, we have some beautiful students that are succeeding all over the world. And Elise asked me to share some of them with you guys. These students that you're seeing on the screen started the businesses with $0. So Monica started a beauty business with $0. So she was an Instagram YouTuber blogger, and she saw the market needs to work with influencers in hair products. So she started reselling, used their money, and then created her own brand with nanotechnology. She was actually featured on Vogue magazine in Colombia last month, which makes me so proud. Alessandro Borda came in with his grandmother's recipe, and we put him into market, started making $15,000 a day into food market. We created a mini franchise model where we go into multiple markets and we create extra sources of revenue for people on the weekend. Then he bought a food truck, and then he started several restaurants. And now we have a surprise that I can't announce yet, but I'll be able to announce it in about 3 days. Another example is Adela. She brought in coconut balls from Vietnam, put her brand on, and with $100, she turned it into $100,000. So she's the only one that's actually used money. And to turn $100 into $100,000 in a year on a student visa, that's pretty impressive. And these are some other beautiful brands. On Move, created by Sergio and Manuel. It's a digital marketing that works with 100% of gyms in Australia. Yes, they are on student visas, and yes, they're making millions of dollars. Then we've got Fernando that brings products from Argentina, and literally his containers land. By the time they land, he makes double the money on it. And by the time it arrives at the port, it sells out before it leaves the port, which is an unbelievable business model. And this is another example of a social impact business that gives back. White Bar is a bakery where 100% of the profit goes towards charity, but they also only employ people with autism. So they've created tools where it keeps them very safe. So it's beautiful to see the type of jobs they're creating, and the things are absolutely delicious and beautiful. So please follow all of them. So, but the most important is the only way you'll ever succeed in life is by bossing your future. If you don't take action from any of the things that Raul and Elise and I will be talking to you guys about today, you're not going to get anywhere. So please take steps forward. I know that a lot of you guys already follow me on Instagram. Send me messages. Tell me where you're stuck. Tell me what tips you need, what contacts. And you know, anyone that's ever sent me a message, you know that I reply very fast and I always help as much as I can. So please send me messages so we can continue helping you succeed. So let's get started. So step 1 for you to win with your finance is a growth mindset. First, you need to believe that you're going to win. And until you don't have a positive growth mindset, you're not going to be able to get anywhere. So I love this quote from Henry Ford, which says, whether you believe you can do anything or not, you're right. So do we know we're going to succeed? I can see some beautiful smiles. So if you believe you're going to succeed, you will succeed. If you don't think you're going to succeed, you're not going to succeed. So please rewire your brains to believe in yourself. And I'll tell you guys a little secret. Money is absolutely everywhere, even during COVID. So remember, the first week of COVID, everybody went on panic mode last year. And I just went, what are you guys panicking? If the money is leaving your bank account, it's going into someone else's bank account. So how do you, as an entrepreneur, capture the money ethically by solving a problem that your customers need to be solved, whether it's a product or a service? So how do you plan on capturing this money? How can you use your superpowers to find a solution for your customer? And who is your customer? Don't say the whole world, because it is not. Even Coca-Cola can't sell Coke to the whole world. So please focus, and the more niche you go, the more you will succeed. So before we start organizing your extra income, I wanted to talk to you guys about personal finance, which is something that Raul, I'm sure, will talk to you guys more about. So every cent counts, guys. Every cent, everything you can do to save, keep an eye on your bank account on a daily basis, and magic will happen. So please save every single cent. Also know your priorities. So for those of you guys that attended our Instagram live yesterday, we spoke about priorities. So you need to be focused. because a lot of you guys come into Australia or move cities with a purpose, and then you meet someone and you distract. So be very careful. I don't know how you prefer setting your goals, whether you're going to have it on the screensaver of your phone or the password as you log into your email every day, or stuck in your fridge or everywhere. But you have to focus and set your priority. If your priority is saving money, if your priority is starting a business, you need to focus on that. Going out and partying with everybody else is pushing you away from it. If your priority is having a good time in Australia, fantastic, go and do it. And goodbye. You don't even have to join today's webinar. But if your priority is saving money, being successful, and winning in life, you need to know where you want to work, like where you're going, and work towards it and stay focused. Have lots of reminders. I remember I was working on a very hard project once, and I put on my phone, I connected my Google Calendar with push notifications, and every hour the word focus would arrive on my phone. So that if I was doing something else, I'd be like, focus, 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 focus. And literally these days, I look at my phone and I think of the word focus just by looking at my phone, because it just helped me rewire my brain to focus, because it's just natural that we lose our focus. So please set a goal of your priorities and put some strategy in place for you to focus. If you don't know how to focus, send me a message. I've done a couple of webinars on it, on biohacking and productivity, and I can send you the link, or we can do it again. Also, another very important thing that we also discussed yesterday is surround yourself with the right people. So you are the average of the people around you. So if you want to be successful, you need to surround yourself with really successful people. And you can do that by following the right people on Instagram, attending the right networking events, living even in a nice suburb. Like if you surround yourself with successful people, it becomes contagious, because their mindset, the strategies is going to become part of your lifestyle. So very, very, very important to surround yourself with the right people. And by right, it's whatever is right to you. Whatever success means to you that's the type of person you want to have around you. And another one is have multiple incomes. So it could be that has different revenue models, or you're going to mix and match so you can have multiple incomes. So personal versus business finance. When it comes to setting up a business, you're going to be a tiny, just 1% selfish, which is you're going to have to look after yourself before you look after others. And this is what we call in the startup world, putting on your oxygen mask. When you get on a plane, what does the pilot say to you? In case of emergency, first thing you do is you put in your own mask before you help others. Because if you have oxygen, you're going to be able to give everybody else oxygen. If you start helping someone else with the oxygen mask and you faint along the way, you're not going to be able to help. So you as a leader need to protect your energy, your income, and your strategy. So when you are setting up a business, this is Paula's personal advice. I think that there's two ways when you're setting up a business. You either know exactly how much money you need to have to survive, because when you start our entrepreneurial journey, we need to spend the least amount possible. You either have the first 6 months saved so you can super focus on your business, because the reality is that you want to invest everything you make in your business back into your business to build the foundation for growth. So even if you make a lot of money in the first month of your business, you still want to save and put it back. So please have the first 6 months saved, or have a side income. So have a job for 2 or 3 days a week that covers your basic needs, your basic expenses. Also, another very important tip is separate your business account from your personal account. And if you haven't chosen your business name yet, or if you're planning on changing your business name, absolutely fine. But just make sure that you work on 2 different debit cards, never credit cards, work on 2 debit cards, and just separate and know which banks can give you the best benefits. So for example, I've always lived overseas, and I find leaving money, and even though the interest rate is terrible, like the banks aren't going to really help you. Like in Latin America, you put money and your money grows in your bank. But I like leaving my money in Australia because I know that it's safe. So ING was the best card for me to use around the world, because I could withdraw money from any machine. And anytime that I spent overseas, I wouldn't pay those crazy taxes for overseas expenses. Really, really, really good. And for business banking, I like we're using Commonwealth in Australia, because I find that you call them, they straight away pick up the phone, the apps work really well, and they've got international support that is really quick, because your bank account does often get hacked and cards get stolen when you're overseas. So for me, those two have worked really well for me. And those two are actually recommended in this book that I 1000% recommend you guys to read. If you don't like reading, and Elise is laughing because I gave her the book the other day. I'm like, you have to read this. If you don't like reading, go on YouTube and just get the your book. So now we've understood the importance of saving money, building our foundation. Now, for you to succeed in life, you need to do what you love every day. So I can make a list of 1,000 things that can make you a multi-millionaire or a billionaire in the next few years. But if you don't love what you do, and if you don't have the skills and passion for it, you won't succeed. So what we do is we always talk about IKIGAI. So IKIGAI is a technique used in Japan, and IKIGAI is actually a Japanese word. And it helps you understand how you can transform your life purpose into your main source of income and turn it into a beautiful business that creates impact. So your IKIGAI, which is my suggestion, if you don't have a business, or if you do have a business that's not performing too well, go back to the drawing board and go to your IKIGAI. Your IKIGAI is, what is it that you love doing, that you're absolutely amazing at, that you are getting paid for, or you can get paid for it without any effort, and that the world needs? Because the reality is that every business solves a problem. So what is it that the world needs that you're very good at doing, that you enjoy doing, and people can pay you? So it's not, oh, I love popcorn, I love watching Netflix. Are you amazing at soccer? The world needs soccer instructors. Moms will pay an instructor to teach the kids, or the school will hire you. So what is it that you love doing, that you're great at, that you can get paid for it, that the world needs? And make sure that your business name and your business idea is right here at the center with this nice balance. Because there's no point of you just doing what you love and not getting paid, or you loving it and not being great at it and having a lot of people that are a lot better than you, or doing something that you love and you're great at, but the world doesn't need it. So how do you solve the problem of the world? By doing what you love, using your natural strengths, what I call your superpowers, and you can get paid for. Because at the end of the day, you need to make money. That's the reality. Even if you're going to be operating a non-for-profit, you need money coming in so you can continuously add that impact around the world. And I love this quote. I love quotes, by the way, guys. This quote says, the two most important days in our lives are the days that we are born and the day that you find out your why. And this is so important. And this is why IKIGAI is so powerful. And I speak from experience. I've been an entrepreneur since the age of 9. I've set up businesses in many industries, many countries, and everything I've ever done has always had a very big why of solving global problems. And this is why every business that I've created has been successful. Has it been hard? Absolutely. Have I made mistakes? More than anyone in the universe. But the businesses had a purpose, they were solving a problem, and they were highly scalable, and I built a community around it. So next tip for you to double or triple your income is think as big as possible. Don't build a business to just sell croissants around the corner. Build a croissant business that's going to be the biggest and most delicious croissant business in the universe. So think big, but start as small as possible. How can you get your first 3 customers? And that's what you need, because that's all of us as entrepreneurs started very small. So I put this view, I love this image of all of the garages, the garage where Apple started, the garage where Google started, Amazon, Harley Davidson, Disney. We all started in garage, or in my case, I didn't even have a garage because I lived in such a small house. I literally worked from the dining table next to the kitchen. So we all start small. So it's a big dream of changing the world, creating the dent in the universe, but start as small as possible. And why do you have to start small? Because you will make lots of mistakes. This is what success looks like. This is a lie. Anyone that told you that success is just step by step is a lie. They're lying to you. This is the reality. Life is hard. This is a day in the life of an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since forever, and every day I wake up so hard, and then I find a solution, and then I make a mistake, and then I get excited again, and then I look at the bank account, I'm like, oh my God, how are we going to do that? And that's the life of an entrepreneur. But when you're doing what you love, using your strengths, you're getting paid for it, the world needs, you're creating an impact, that's when you are taking steps forward. And that's when you see the light at the end of the tunnel. That when it gets hard, you don't think about giving up. You just go, okay, more coffee, let's go. So you have to see that every business solves a problem. The more people you can service by fixing that problem, the more you will succeed. So what are the pain points? So I always say when anyone comes to me and says, help me find a business that will make me really rich, I'm like, what bothers you and bothers a lot of people? Go and fix it. Or go to the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals page and just look there. Because if you can solve 1% of any of those problems within the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, you're successful for the rest. So the bigger the problem, the bigger the opportunity. So let's turn tragic into magic. And also think about what is it? This is why IKIGAI is so important. What business idea, product, or service are you working? How are you solving? And how are you going to fix it? And how are you going to find energy every morning to jump out of bed? Because as an entrepreneur, time is money. And every extra minute you spend in bed is time that you're wasting. So how are you going to find that energy for you to jump? Like me personally, sometimes I'm exhausted, but Saturday, Sunday, I wake up and the first thing I think about is a problem that I need to solve or a next step or a challenge. And sometimes, yes, you've got less energy, but you find it within you. Because if you don't fix that, no one else will. So it's your job to build a business that solves a problem, but that fuels you every day with energy to keep on putting that foot forward, progressing solutions and servicing more customers every single day. So here are some business ideas. So before we talk about the business ideas, I just wanted to suggest to you guys, yes, focus, but don't put all eggs into one basket. Like I mentioned, have your savings on the side or have a side income. So if you have a part-time job and you get along with your boss, keep that. Be honest. Please don't ever build a business that you're going to steal your boss's contact details and customer database. Be honest with your boss and just go, I've got an idea. Can I work less hours or can I keep the same amount of salary and give you the same results, but I'll work in my own time? Start a business. Also invest time for you to upskill yourself. And in Australia, it's beautiful that if you put time towards coaches and courses, it's tax deductible. So just pay it through the company debit card and it can be tax deductible. And as you start making money, look at ways where you can invest your money, but please be careful. Don't go in and because you see something on Instagram, just invest. Like the amount of people that contact me on Instagram trying to sell the investment solutions and it's all fake profiles, or people that just jump into any investment because they heard it's really good. I've got Raul just putting his head over the head because it's super dangerous. So if you're going to invest into something, think about it, look at the risk, and I suggest that you invest into industries that you know well. So if you come from X country, invest into something that you know that industry, you've got connections, you can make phone calls. But also personally, as an investor, I only invest into businesses that I can make a phone call and I can double the income in the first month. If I can't pick up the phone and grow the business, I will not put my money into it. So I invest into businesses where my network can grow and also my experience can support them. So use your superpowers to monetize it. So I know that we've got a lot of us today logging in that are international students. Teach a language. You guys are in the second most multicultural country in the world. Everybody is either dating someone from another country they want to learn or they're doing business with another country. So teach a language. And you can charge like $80, $100 an hour. So while you are there working at a cafe for $20 an hour, you could be teaching a language from home, one class after another. And especially now, there's so many people with money and time to give you, and they want to learn and they want to be closer to another culture because they can't travel. Another is obvious translation. Call your local embassy or consulate and just translating stuff. And if you don't have connections that can open the doors, go into something like Fiverr, put up or freelancer.com, put your profile up there and just do it. And again, you can get paid a lot of money. Like a little passport, you get paid $35. Like how long does it take you to translate a passport? Like 2 minutes? Another one, this one is very easy. Teach students that are a term behind you. So whatever you pass, if you pass a university or college, Just, you're not going to do this for them, but just teach them. Like, an average subject at a university is $4,000. If you charge an international student $400 to teach them how to pass, you've saved them from spending $4,000 again. Another one is teach something like soccer or a sport or something cultural, or like a dance. I've seen a lot of like Latin American girls teaching Zumba, salsa, and all these things. And the Aussies want to learn, the Aussie girls and boys. If you love sports, teach a sport, and it's such good and easy income. Yoga as well, everything to do with mindfulness. And these are things that you can teach often without even having a qualification. You can teach just from passion and expertise. And whatever you do well, look at a way that you can sell it. So I always say, like, what are the things that your friends around you just go, oh my God, that is amazing. And you just go, oh, that was nothing. So whatever you do with very minimal effort, so say you enjoy baking cakes or writing poetry or writing a song, whatever it is that you do, put in the state of flow activity with no effort, you could potentially monetize out of that. And that will probably 99.9% chance be linked to your IKIGAI. Also, turn your friends into your army. That's what I did here. When I moved to Australia, I was already an entrepreneur. I had many businesses and I was studying public relations. And I'm like, so many businesses need public relations. I hired 11 uni friends and my teacher, and I just sold the services. So I would just sign contracts and they would work. And we were like best friends. We had so much fun, so much fun. And then I rented a 5-story house over in Kirribilli and we just turned it into an office. It was just amazing. It was the best experience ever. And I'm still really good friends with all of them. And that teacher now does some public relations for Academy of Entrepreneurs. So it's just cycles in life. It's amazing. Cook a local food. We've got many students at Academy. So they just literally go, I'm from Colombia, I'm from Indonesia, I'm from Sri Lanka. Everybody misses their local food. They go on Facebook and they just promote it. And then the beauty of selling it through Facebook is that often people will pay you. Then you go and buy the ingredients and then you deliver. If you have issues with delivering food at the moment due to the lockdown in Sydney, send me a message, because there is a startup that can come to your house, do the check to see the quality of your kitchen. They'll pick up the food and they will deliver and only charge 15%, which is a lot less than Uber that's keeping 38%. It's a really cool business model. So let me know if you want the details. Dropshipping is another great one. You just put images across social media, sell it, take the money, and then you order. But do keep in mind that borders are closed and China is taking longer. I've invested into a business recently where we were dropshipping from China. Then we started looking at Southeast Asia, but it was all taking too long. And we're actually dropshipping from Australia to Australia. So we just diversified, still within the same portfolio, but we're bringing products from other states of Australia, which makes it a lot easier. Obviously, Sydney this week is not a good example, but it was working until last week. Another one is Fiverr. Fiverr is a platform that a lot of people go in to buy $5 services, but the reality is that you can offer something for $5, but then afterwards you can top up the price. So you can sell a first blog for $5 and afterwards you can increase your price. So what I've seen a lot of people doing is that they're not good bloggers, but they're good at promoting the services. So they'll advertise and they'll hire other people to do it. So you're just managing, again, you're building your army that can work for you. So most important, no matter what you're planning on doing, is for you to do something great. It needs to be something that you truly enjoy doing, that the world needs. Now, next, we need to think about revenue model. How is it that you're going to make money? Because unfortunately, money doesn't grow on trees, but it is a lot easier than you think. And my suggestion is have minimum 3 revenue models for your business. So a revenue model is basically how a business makes money. And if you don't have revenue, you don't have a business. I meet so many people like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm like, what do you sell? Oh, I still don't have customers. How long have you had the startup? Oh, for 2 years. I'm like, you've had a startup for 2 years and you don't have customers. That's not a business. I don't want to talk to you. A business has paying customers and profit. The more profit you have, the more impact, the more jobs you'll be able to create, and the more you'll be able to service. So what are some different revenue models we can think of? Service revenue model. So something like a hairdresser. You need to get a haircut, you need to do your nails, you go there and they offer you that as a service. Another one is a product. You could be selling a product such a car, an iPhone, a laptop, it is a product. You also have the option of doing commission. So it's two ways that can benefit your business. You could be someone that sells someone else's product with no risk and you get commission, or you as a business can have people that sell your products and you pay them commission. And I've been this model even with Instagram influencers that they just create their own codes. It could be like Paula 10%, and then anyone that buys, I will get 10%, but also my customers will get 10% off. So it's a very trendy model because it's low risk for the entrepreneur and also for the person that's driving the sales. The other one is licensing model. So you could license like kind of like what we've seen with Calvin Klein, that they had different designers using the products and names in your licensing in multiple ways. Another one is selling at a higher price the same product. So just buying it and reselling, and sometimes something, I don't know, you could buy a candle and just repackage and create a beautiful Instagram page and you're just marking it up, and people love it because it just gives a really good experience around it. Renting or leasing. So I've seen a lot of international students leasing apartments or leasing even bicycles. I've seen even like or cars, people that are doing Uber Eats, like they buy a car and then they use it half the time and the time they're not using it, leasing it. So it's a great source of revenue. And believe it or not, if you're good at managing money, every cent will add up and it can turn into quite a lot. Another one that is very popular, this is a little bit, it takes a little bit more strategy, but the subscription model. We ran a beautiful class at Entrepreneurs with Marjorie, which is an amazing influencer. And she was teaching our students on how to make $1,000 through a subscription model that you create as an example. You create an Instagram page and you post tips every day for 10 to 15 minutes. You download that, you put it into a platform, and then your customers can get free classes every day. But the ones that sign up for the subscription, they have a library of content of different topics. And it's something so easy that you can do it for free. And you just, the suggestion that she was giving is build a subscription around your community. So in the case of Raul had a massive community of international students that went to him for advice. What has he done? He's used his superpower and passion towards helping others and built a business that gives back. And you can have it on a fee for service or subscription, coaching, or so forth. Advertising model. So if you're getting a lot of clicks in your app or your website or even your Instagram page, you can charge people to post their business. They can put a little logo and a sponsor, or you can do the same for other people if you promote your business. This one, I love this business model. There's a couple of businesses in Australia that I find that they do it so well. There's this restaurant that I love called Lentils over in Newtown. And you go in and you eat, and you've got the most beautiful smile serving you the most delicious, healthy food, and you pay by donation. And it's interesting because it's got so much purpose behind it. You end up paying almost double of what you normally would in a normal restaurant. And there's another one called Barefoot Yoga in Surrey Hills. An average yoga class in Sydney is $25 per class, but you go and the instructor's giving you amazing class, but they don't charge anything to the space. And then you go in and if you can afford, you pay. If you can't, you don't. But on average, they give $50 per person per hour for a class because it just has, so it's you're asking for donations at the end of offering the amazing product and service, and obviously link it to a cause that you care about. And be very transparent in how that's adding impact in the community. So I really love this business model. And like I mentioned before, try having 3 of these revenue models into your business. So whatever you're doing, try to see, mix and match. A business that really surprised me that I came across over in Southeast Asia was the graphic design industry. So you can go on Fiverr and find a couple of graphic designers for your business. But when you're starting a business, you can't afford a full-time graphic designer. So they build a subscription model where everybody that signs up gets 10 pieces of artwork every month, which is very good for a startup. And what they realize is that when you sign up, you often will use for the first 2 months your 10 licenses. And then after that, because you just know that you have it in, that you forget to use it. So that's when the business starts making more revenue, but also, you know, as an entrepreneur, if you need that service, it will be there for you. So I loved how they built a subscription out of a graphic design agency, and you could do the same with many other industries. So please mix and match. A strategy that I personally use when I need to be creative, which is like almost every hour of my day, is the Edward de Bono 6 thinking hats. So I always look at every problem from different perspectives. I just go, okay, I have the problem of, I don't know, selling this pen. How would my grandmother sell this pen? How would my 7-year-old goddaughter? How would my investor sell this pen? So you look at it from different perspectives, and then it just takes you out of your bubble of small mindset, and you're just focusing on the problems, and you look at it like, I love doing like, how does Bob Marley, how would he sell the business? How would like Elon Musk disrupt the industry? So I always look at solutions from different perspectives, from different leaders in different industries, so I can disrupt the way of thinking and just build a sustainable business that is completely different to everybody else out there. Then I promised that I was going to talk to you guys about time versus money. So here's an example. So I had this student that I've never met. She contacted me on Instagram last week. Her name is Zara, and she's got a yoga business. And she's on a student visa, and she's just like, Paula, can you help me make more money? And I just went, let me give you some ideas. So as a yoga instructor, if you find yourself a really good studio, they might pay you $100 an hour to teach 1 hour of class. So you might go as an international student just going, wow, I'm earning $100 an hour, but you're not, because you need to wake up early, drive, pay for petrol, for parking. And after you finish that 100-hour class, most likely you'll find another studio 5 hours later that will pay another 100. So once you calculate the expenses and the time that you weren't working, you're not earning $100. And this is where a lot of or first-time entrepreneurs, they don't value the time in delivering, preparing for the service, getting there, and everything else that comes with it. So what I suggested to her was, why doesn't she teach online so that she can teach back to back, maybe giving her a 15-minute break between classes for $20 an hour, but to 20 customers? Can you see how she's increased her hourly rate from 100 to 400? Then we took it to the next level. How about if she builds a subscription model? For $20, instead of teaching 1 hour for 20 customers, she teaches unlimited, but she recruits 20 new customers every month. So that means if every month, by the time she hits 12 months, she's making now $57,000. Then how do you take it to the next level? So could she maybe package it with a wellness festival once a year? Could she run workshops where she teaches people on how to teach with her techniques? Can she run a resort where she's classes or just connecting with her customers for 3 or 4 days? And can she also have branded merchandise? Because if she's really good at yoga, people will respect her and want to be involved with her brand because she's built a brand awareness, and they'll buy her yoga mat, her yoga gear, and so forth. So can you see how she went from earning $100 an hour on a student visa, which is actually not 100, to now earning about 200,000 with her eyes closed, with no effort? And then, as you guys know, I think big. So I just suggested to her, why doesn't she franchise her business? Everybody wants to become a yoga instructor. Everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants an extra source of income. So she could franchise and build it within an app and help people build the business by using her services and skills. So this is just an example on how everything is possible. And yes, on a student visa, you guys can start any business in any industry, and there's no limits to how much money you can make, which is amazing of the Australian government. But as I said, money is absolutely everywhere. And the example of yoga, like, you can start teaching yoga online. I even thought about it the other day. You could actually just curate content from YouTube and just send everybody a 30-minute class from different YouTubers. Like, everything is possible, guys. My recommended book for time versus money is the 4-Hour Work Week. It just helps you understand how can you operate. So for example, every day when I go to sleep, we make money because we've got teams around the world selling and delivering our products, but also I've got 2 assistants that help us build content. So while I'm sleeping, I give them almost like homework, and then I wake up and in my email, I've got the work done or summarized, or I've got an Excel spreadsheet with an action plan for us. So always look at how you can set up businesses that have very low risk. And this is why the ideas that I've shared with you guys, it's things that you guys have naturally within you. So it's very, very, very easy for you to offer. And remember, think big, but start small. And a great way for you to think big and start small is by using platforms like Facebook. Facebook group is absolutely unbelievable. Guys, 20 years ago, previous our generation, like if you wanted to conduct market research, you had to ring the doorbell. Now, we post on Instagram and you can get a poll and you go, do you want it pink or blue? Do you want it $2 or $2.50? Or you can share it on Facebook and you can start building a community. We have one of our students, he's launching a Harry Potter themed cafe and he wanted to see like the best suburb and there's a community. He collected 10,000 leads in 1 week through Facebook groups because he went to strategic groups, collected the contact details. So the day he launches, he's already got a massive database of people lining up to buy his products. So I'll give you guys an example. For those of you that have been to Latin America, dulce de leche is like our Nutella from Latin America. It's even better than Nutella. I'm so sorry if you're Italian or if you're Aussie and you log into. And we had, yes, thumbs up. We had this student from Chile with the idea of opening a dulce de leche business because there's 123,000 Latin Americans here in Australia, and we all missed our dulce de leche, our Latin American caramel or Nutella, however you want to call it. So she went into Facebook groups, Latin American Facebook groups, and just went, who wants to buy dulce de leche? How much would you pay for dulce de leche? So initially she wanted to sell every jar for $5. We realized that the average people were willing to pay was between $18 to $25 a jar. Her profit margin, like dulce de leche is condensed milk with sugar that you just mix in a pan. Her profit margin is humongous. But you have to listen to information. And I also share something. She had one person amongst the hundreds that she interviewed over the week of market research saying, I'm not going to buy dulce de leche. I'll make it on my own. And this student panicked and she just went, I can't open the business because someone told me that they're going to do it. And I'm like, this is one person out of hundreds of thousands of people that are waiting to buy your dulce de leche. So when you are researching, you're not going to take in consideration every single tip and every single thing. You get the average. So you get the bell curve, you get whatever is in the bell area of the graph. Cool. And finally, do think about your pricing strategy. A big mistake that I see entrepreneurs doing is that they charge a lot less than competition to win. But the reality is that often the more they sell, the more money they're losing because what they're charging is less than what it's costing them to deliver the product or service. So I'll show you guys this cute little video that I saw on TikTok. Let me see if I can play it. It's just 42 seconds.
To show you how to be a millionaire. Are you ready? There's 2 ways. The first way is you've got a one-time product. 5,000 people buy a $200 product, or only 250 people buy a $4,000 product. This is what we play. So you've got a $17 product, sell it to 5,000 people for 12 months. Or you've got a $167 product and you sell it to 500 people for 12 months. Are you using your time wisely so that one of these things can happen? And which way seems more feasible to you?
Can you see? It's very important for you guys to consider that your pricing strategy is super important. So when you're building a pricing strategy, first you need to know how much does it cost for you to operate. And do include your salary as well. And even if it's just covering the cost of your rent, do include the basic for you to manufacturing costs, the place, the marketplace, the conditions of the market, because if you're selling a product mainly Christmas, Valentine's Day, how are you going to make up for those months? Winter, the different spring, the different seasons, or COVID, no COVID, the brand's positioning, the tax, and the quality of your product. And 3 other very important things for you to take in consideration in your pricing strategy is the positioning in the market. How do you want to be seen? The competitor's positioning and your ability to supply. Because you might be able to offer something really good locally. And then what happens if you sell 100,000 products? Can you actually deliver it? So it's 3 very important things for you guys to consider as you are creating the price of your product. And Warren Buffett, the most famous investor of our generation, he says, price is what you pay, value is what you get. So do consider the value that you give into people. So say, for example, you are a migration agent. If you're the best in town and you can guarantee the best advice with the best result, you can charge anything because people will pay anything to get a good visa with good advice. So going to a cheap migration agent, from my point of view, is a red alert. It's like a red flag of this person. I see some migration agents going free service and I'm like, that means it's messed up. Because a good lawyer, the more expensive the lawyer is, the better it is. So you have to take in consideration what value are you getting. So if you get someone like, I don't know, if you're a hairdresser and you're doing an amazing job with the hair, people will pay for that because it's the value of grabbing the glass of champagne when you get to the hairdresser and having a really good haircut. I've seen so many students going, oh, $5 haircut, and then there's like a hole in the boy's head. And I'm like, oh my God. So what is the value you're looking for? So be careful when you're offering the product to make sure that you can deliver the value you're promising, but also price it according to the value that you are offering to the customers. Because as I said, at the end of the day, every business solves a problem. So if you're solving a problem, what value you're adding and how much you're going to charge. And finally, set SMART goals. Goals need to be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and they need to have a time. So if your goal is to get 3,000 likes on Instagram over the next month, is that achievable? Is your goal to close $100,000 worth of contracts in the next month or 12 months? Is that achievable? So you need to set SMART goals so you know where you're working towards. And then the SMART goal maybe for the year, 6 months, 3 months, month, all the way down to the day. I even 3 days a week, I organize my day in time blocks where every 30 minutes I've got a SMART goal. It's very exhaustive, so you can't do that every day because you burn out. You just go, and you just go. And what I do is I get on my iPhone and I put the timer. And every 30 minutes, I know I need to focus and complete that. Next day, you don't even have energy, but it does super work when you're working on it. So, final tip, the harder you work, the luckier you're going to get. That is a formula of making money, guys. And remember, the money is everywhere. Even during COVID, during lockdown, there's actually even more money right now than there was before. So for more tips, just come to me on Instagram, message me, ask me for tips. Follow Academy Spinners on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, everywhere, LinkedIn. For more information, here are contact details so we can send you guys. So just write down this phone number or info@astudy.com. All of this information is obviously, you can find it on our website and Instagram. We also have lots of self-paced courses that you can go in and just click and straight away start today. So some of them are 1 hour. The main course that we have, the bestseller, is this one, How to Turn Any Idea into Your Business. And this is an 8-hour program and it's valid for life. And it's got all of the downloadable courses and tools. It's amazing, 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 amazing. And Annalise has a big scholarship for you guys. So for those of you that are on student visas across anywhere in around Australia, you can study and get a visa through Academy of Entrepreneurs. So she's got this amazing scholarship, but it does finish at the end of July. So please speak to her. Just send her an email at info or go on the Instagram page and speak to her, because I know she doesn't have that many spots left. So just speak to her as soon as you guys can. So now guest speaker, welcome. Unmute yourself. How are you, my dear? Good to see you.
I'm great. I'm great. Thanks for calling me. Thanks for having me here as well. I was so excited. What I was just saying this morning, I was like, yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yes.
True attitude of an entrepreneur always finds time for the important things. Raul, what do you think is the biggest mistake that students make? Hey, Daniela. Hello, neighbor. What do you think is the biggest mistake that students make when they are setting up a business and investing their money here in Australia? What tips do you have for us? Because we've got 50 now.
Yes, I think the biggest mistake is not believing that you can do. That's simple as it sounds. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. What I tell everyone is, you are in a student visa. I was in a student visa for 6.5 years myself. So if you start thinking as a permanent resident or as a citizen, as an Australian, once you become an Australian, you're wrong. We are 5, 6, maybe 10 years late. Once you arrive in Australia, or even before you get to Australia, think how Australia works. How can I become myself someone else? How can I achieve something else? Oh, no, that's for Australians. No, I have a student visa. No, I can't do this. I cannot invest. I cannot open my business. Come on, we can do it. We can. So people tell me, no, I'm going to wait until I get my permanent visa to start investing or starting doing my business. And I say, well, if I was waiting for that, I would wait 7 years until I get the opportunity to get my permanent visa and start doing something. So I lost 7 years of my life waiting on the sidelines just for nothing? No way. So if you think about the gladiators back in Rome, back in the day, they were like, when they are in the arena fighting, that's where they learn. That's where they learn. If you're on the sideline watching and like, nah, this guy can't do it. Nah, you're weak. Or just go. Just go. Start small, as you say. Don't compare yourself with someone that has like 5 million followers on Instagram. Like, oh, I want to do everything that that guy does. No, get the idea, implement to your world, and start doing. So we make mistakes.
And ask for feedback, right? I speak to a lot of global leaders. I'm like, how did you do it? You're such an inspiration. Can you teach me? 2 minutes, please. All I need is 2 minutes. Give me one tip. And then they always will share the tips.
They will. They will. So start. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait for you to have time. Or no, I'm studying with my student visa. I have my school, blah blah blah. I can't. I did my first job interview in my life ever, first ever, when I was 24 in Australia in English without without speaking English. I was like, blah 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 blah. Well, I don't know what I said, but I got the job. So I just went there. So when you're talking about finance, guys, think. I will try to draw something here really quickly, and I hope you guys can see. Let me change this. Let me change. Can you see the red line here?
Yes, we can see the line.
I hope you guys, is a pentagon, right? It's really hard, guys, but think it's a pentagon, right? So think about it. There are 5 points that you have to keep in mind when you're in Australia. We are not Australians. We were not born here, so we don't know how things work here. So think savings first. Think about saving money. As Paula said, save every cent. You go to change your bank because the banks are not paying you enough, or they're charging you fees, $4 a month. Yes, but why paying $4 a month if you can pay like zero? So save money. Understand how the tax system works here in Australia. Simple as that. I work on tax file number. I work on ABN. I'm gonna have my business. I have to pay taxes. I have to save money to pay my taxes. Simple as that.
Deductible, right? There's so many things. So if you
so many things
on an invoice, and then part of your rent if you're working from home, your mobile, your internet, everything starts getting tax deductible. And at the end, you might not even pay tax if you have worked out very well your finances.
Yeah, even like Facebook advertising, like even that you can deduct that from your tax. So you're getting your online business and you're investing money, and then you're investing on advertising, and then you're putting Facebook, Instagram, Google ads all the time. You can deduct that. So like, oh, I didn't think about it. So it's simple. Try to understand that savings and tax, that's the structure. That's the base of your structure. That's the base that I have here. Then start understanding superannuation. But I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not gonna have my superannuation. That's fine. But translate and use the super as your future. Future represents your future. So think about it. Understand. If you have a superannuation account, don't have 8, don't have 6 like superannuation accounts. Have 1. That's it. Think about it. The best rates, don't overcharge you. They have a good portfolio. They have a good 10-year return. Simple as that. On the other side, start thinking about the extra income, because let's be realistic. You can make money with investments. Yes, you can, but you're gonna make much more money and way quicker, way faster if you have a business, you have a side job, an extra income. And that these two plus investments, they're on the top, they are your boosters. They will boost your financial life, they will boost your life, they'll boost your business, and invest time on yourself, and invest time on learning what you're doing, so you don't have to be dependent on someone. What's the best stocks that you can buy in the stock market? I don't know your life. I don't know your business. I don't know what your kind of portfolio. If you're really reserved, you want to investing small things and really conservative, or no, I want to invest in something huge, big, and stuff like that. So keep that in mind. You have to start small, but start today. Every single person that I talk, they say, "Oh, should I start investing?" I was like, "You should have started investing 20 years ago, 10 years ago, or yesterday. That's fine. But if you realize, start doing something." I started doing drop shipping back in 2019. I'll start doing that. I was like, yeah, let's start doing it. I was making money. And then I started my Instagram account, which is talking about investment in Australia for people from overseas. In my case, for Portuguese
You're
speakers,
easy, right?
Brazilians.
So you naturally succeed. You already have a community there. You're doing what you love. You are solving a problem, because when you come to Australia as an immigrant, you don't know where to get the information. And it's confusing, especially when it's in another language. And this is why you've succeeded so fast, because you're helping
Yeah,
others. And then as a result, everybody has good results, and then they further bring you customers. It's so
yeah.
easy, guys. Long hours, long hours. And at
Long
least
hours.
CC is working really long hours, but it's easier than you guys think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just think about it. Because when I started, people were like, oh, that's crazy. You don't have anyone else talking about it? I was like, no, we don't. There was no one talking about this in Portuguese, not even maybe in Spanish now, or in English, for not talking to Australians, but talking to immigrants. That's the difference. So I found my niche. I found what I love, and I started doing this because I was getting tired of people like, oh man, this guy talk about investments again. This guy's talking about money again. I was like, you know what? I'm going online. I'm going to Instagram. I'm gonna start talking. If they like it, they follow me. If they don't, that's it. I don't have to worry about. I'm doing that for myself and doing for myself because I love it. I start helping people, and then we have a huge community already. So it's like,
I've got a question. How much do you recommend someone on a student visa to save? Do you recommend them to save 10, 20? Because I've always been a fan of saving over 50% of what I earn. Like, I just love working out how I can play with the tax and structure. So at least 50% of what I earn gets saved, so I can put it towards really big things. How much do you suggest a student should save? And yes, you do have weeks where you've got lockdown and your boss will
mhm.
give you, I don't know, pay rise, or you've got the bonus at the end of the week or the month in different industries. But on average, how much do you suggest someone to save?
What I did a research with
Percentage.
with my followers. They were saying if they can easily save between 15 to 17% easily without any effort, like not thinking. That's amazing already because most of people don't save at all. So if you start there, and then what I do, a technique that I use is 1% a week. So if you can increase 1% of that you can save in a week, and that stays stable, you keep like that. Okay, I can do 17. Next month, I can do 18. And then I can do 19, 20, 21, and then you keep going until save as much as you can. Have your emergency savings account. What I call is my life boat saving, because we're living in an island. So if something happens in Australia, you can have your life saving boat.
Don't forget your friends. I love it because I always tell people, how could you be 1% more courageous, 1% happier, 1% more successful, 1% more profitable? That 1%, because it's crazy, the brain. We always, like, if you just go, oh, take that big step, it's scary. But if you are going to be 1%, it's super doable. And the 1% every day starts adding up. So I love that. Thank you. I never thought about 1% of the savings. So I will start
Yeah.
using
So
it.
because you can do it. Like you like 10. It's like, oh, I save $10. Fine. Can you save 11? I can. And then you keep going, keep going, keep going. Just don't stop. That's it. And then later on, you have your savings already ready. So you don't have to save for that. Start investing. And just goes. And guys, online, if you want to start anything online, your costs to start are minimal.
Minimal.
You can
Yeah.
s-
I've
you
got
can start with
guys that are starting. I've done many webinars, and I've got an ebook on how to start a business in Australia with $0. Like, it's so easy. And then come to our community. We're happy to promote
that's
you.
it.
Yes, it's so easy, so easy. Okay, guys, it is we've been an hour to. Does anyone have questions for Raul before we finish. With me, you guys can reach me on Instagram, LinkedIn. Everybody has my contact details. Anyone has a question, because we're just about to go over time. Anyone has a question for Raul? Wellington, you've been smiling the whole time. Thumbs up. No? Anna, Kenny, Lillian, any questions? No? Too much information, too much energy, too many opportunities. Guys,
all good.
Thanks for joining us.
Very good.
Honest to have so many of you guys here with us today. It is recorded, so if you guys want to watch the recording, you can go back to Facebook. If you want the whole file, email us and we can email it to you guys tomorrow. If you want a copy of the slides, again, email us. And I've left Annalisa's contact details. Oh, thanks for all the beautiful messages, guys. Cool. Lots of love. Thanks for being here with us. Oh, and tomorrow I'm running a workshop. I actually super forgot to tell everybody on Instagram. I'm running a workshop for the Australian government on productivity. How can you reshuffle your diary around to focus and be more productive? So if you guys want to learn about productivity, which is something super important, because this is something that we always think that we don't have enough time in our day. So I'm going to teach you guys some of our top hacks and tricks on how you can boost your productivity. So that is tomorrow at 5:30 on Zoom. So for that one to sign up, message me on Instagram and I'll send you guys the link, because the Eventbrite, it's sitting on Study New South Wales. It's on the government's page. So send me a message and I will send you guys the information for you guys to sign up. Absolutely free for everybody. And it's from 5:30 to 6:30 tomorrow. We're going to be teaching you guys about productivity. Beautiful. Big hugs. Lots of love. Have an amazing evening. Thanks for joining us. See you soon. Bye, guys. Ciao.
Ciao.
Beijo.